Good evening, students. I hope you are doing well. We've had a great Monday. Well, we are now in week 3 of exploring the New Testament together. So hopefully your week 1 and week 2 went well, but your week 3 assignments went live this morning at 8 o'clock. So those are now available for you. This week is going to be the same as it was from previous weeks. You're going to have your unit quiz, your discussion, your reflection, and your accomplishment paper. So you're going to have the same format as you did in the first 2 weeks. Now, just wanted to mention about your week 1 assignments. Those have been graded and returned to you with feedback. Please make sure that you are going into the scoring rubrics in order to be able to see the feedback that's provided for you. Typically, whenever I grade assignments, I usually will put some general feedback on the main page, and then you'll need to actually go into the scoring rubric to see some additional follow-up feedback. Again, if you do have questions at all about your feedback, please do reach out to me with those questions. I'm going to discuss a little bit here at the very end of the video about some of the things that I was seeing and ways that you can definitely improve your assignments heading in to week 3. But I did want to make mention that if you did not receive an assignment, so if you did not receive a reflection or an accomplishment, specifically those two, then please do check your email. More than likely, I had a question about something I needed to get some clarification on. So if you did not receive one of your assignments, specifically either a reflection or an accomplishment paper, please do check your email to see if there was a correspondence that I had sent to you. Now, in saying that, going over the week 3 assignments for this week, you're going to have 2 different articles out of the ESV, one on the reliability of the New Testament and another one on actually just one article this week. So it looks like you're just reading the reliability of the New Testament is going to be the primary article that you're reading out of the ESV this week. And then your scripture reading is going to come from, again, the Gospel of Matthew, and then also the Gospel of Luke. So that's where your scripture reading is going to be coming from this week. And as I mentioned last week, as you're getting into the scripture reading, make sure that you're reading the footnotes that are connected with those verses. Those footnotes provide a lot of important information that will help you just to have a better overall understanding of the context of the passage. And then, so that will help you with just the single verses you're reading, but then overall understanding the entire, context of the passage. Plus, also, it will take you to other books of the Bible that will assist you specifically with your doctrinal research section in your papers, and then also with the exposition section in your papers. So just wanted to mention that, and please make sure that you're reading those footnotes that are connected with those different passages. Now, there are some supplemental handouts that have been made available for you. And again, these are not assigned reading, but they're just supplemental resources that be able to assist you with your assignments. And then there are a couple video lectures that are available as well. 2 of them there are kind of connected with the reliability of the New Testament manuscripts. And then the last one there is focusing on what are the proofs of the resurrection of Jesus. And again, that's going to kind of connect with your discussion for this week, and then also with your accomplishment paper. So getting into that, you're going to see that your discussion really is going to be focusing on why is the resurrection of Jesus important. So that's going to be your discussion question this week. And then basically following up on that, your accomplishment for this week is going to be summarizing the crucifixion and resurrection passages, primarily from the Gospel of Luke. But again, you can go to the other 4 Gospels, because all 4 of them will mention the resurrection of Christ. So primarily you're looking at the Gospel of Luke, but you can bring in verses from Mark, and then Matthew, and then also from John as well. Then with your reflection this week, you're actually going to go back to the Lord's Prayer, which is found in Matthew chapter 6, and you're kind of looking about what Jesus is communicating in what we call the Lord's Prayer, or really the disciples' prayer. So that's going to be the focus this week from your reflection this week. And again, if you have questions at all, about your assignments, please do reach out to me with those questions. Secondly, make sure that you are not only thoroughly answering each one of the questions in your assignments, but that you're fulfilling the scoring rubric aspects as well. Primarily, that would be with your accomplishment paper. Hopefully, you've been able to see that with your accomplishment paper, you need to start your paper out with a clear introduction that introduces your topic, that does not include the first question to your assignment. I try to put as many notes as I can and instructions at the end of your assignments that your introduction should introduce your topic, and then the questions that you're answering need to be in the body of your paper. So the questions are going to be in the body of your paper, and then you're going to conclude your paper with your either a conclusion or a closing prayer. And of course, you're being graded on each one of those sections. The other one would be that your discussion and application questions need to be within the core of your paper as well. And again, if you have questions at all about any of the feedback or any of the requirements for the scoring rubric, please do reach out to me with those questions. Also, please make sure that you are fulfilling the word requirements. Your accomplishment paper needs to be at least 500 words, and if it's not, then points will be deducted for that. Same thing with your reflection. Your reflection needs to be at least 250 words, and then with your discussion and responses, your discussion needs to be at least 150 words, your initial discussion post, and then your responses to your classmates need to be at least 50 to 75 words. So please make sure that you are fulfilling your word requirement responsibilities as well, so that points are not deducted in those areas. Again, if you do have questions at all about your assignments or the feedback too, please do reach out to me with that. Now, the last thing I really wanted to discuss this evening is the issue of citing your papers. Please make sure that you are citing your sources in your paper. You have to cite the ESV as your source, and then any other sources that you use, whether it's an article that I provide for you or an article that you have found yourself or a book. You have to properly cite your sources in your papers, and that includes that if you are citing a direct quote, not only citing the source in your paper, but you have to use quotation marks as well. So you have to use quotation marks. And then the other thing would be that if you're paraphrasing parts of a sentence, then you need to properly cite that as well. Typically, what you would do in that situation is at the end of the sentence, you're going to cite the page number of where you got that information from, and then you're going to cite the source. So in this case, if I was using the ESV, I would put the page number, and then I would cite the ESV as my source. That is just proper citation. So please make sure that you are properly citing your papers when you are submitting those. Again, if you have a question at all about how to properly cite your paper, please go to the Start Here icon on the home page of the course, and then when you get there, it will take you over. You scroll down and you can see the UC Citation Help Center. You can click there, and it will show you how to properly cite your assignments, either using APA or MLA. And so just wanted to make sure that I clarify that you have to properly cite your papers or cite your sources in your papers. If you have questions at all about how to properly do that, do reach out to me with those questions, and I can give you further instructions of how you need to properly cite your sources in your papers. With that, I hope you have a great rest of your evening. If I need to get another communication to you, I will either post another video or use the course message center in order to get a message to you. I'm going to be starting the grade week 2 assignments and getting those back to you with feedback. But again, as I said earlier, if you did not receive back one of your week 1 assignments, please do check your email for correspondence from me. With that, have a great rest of your evening and look forward to connecting with all of you again soon.